from the IRC and the former UK Foreign Secretary. Meantime, let's go back to Canada. An evacuation amidst this pandemic. What a nightmare period of time for Alberta. The situation for thousands of Fort McMurray residents found themselves in as extreme flooding has overtaken the Alberta city, a city already reeling from the collapse of oil prices and the virus. Remember the fire there not too long ago. But can you safely evacuate citizens while maintaining physical distancing measures? Let's find out what the plan is. Alberta's Environment Minister Jason Nixon joins us. He's in Fort McMurray, sir. Our thoughts, again, are with the brave and incredibly resilient people of Fort McMurray. Some people are calling this the worst flood in the area in a century. Can you give us a sense of how extensive it is?
It probably is, without doubt, the worst flood in a century, certainly the worst flood in recent memory. It's pretty significant. It's not a flood being caused by precipitation and snow pack in our mountains, which is what we're used to in Alberta when it comes to flooding situations. It's coming from an ice jam. And in the case of Fort McMurray, it's a 25-kilometer long ice jam, so pretty significant, over a kilometer wide and extremely thick. So it's plugged up. The river system significantly adjacent to Fort McMurray. I want to also shout out to our friends and neighbors in Fort Vermilion, who are also being impacted by one on the Mighty Peace River. Same thing, that ice jam is about 30 kilometers long. Both these communities are being significantly impacted by water within their communities, which is extremely unfortunate. And as you mentioned, it's really tough to watch because both of these communities have been impacted by fire. Fort McMurray famously or infamously 4 years ago had to go through their horrible situation, and up in Mackenzie County with Fort Vermilion, they went through this last year. So it's tough to see these communities going through a disaster of this magnitude yet again.
How does COVID-19 complicate the situation? Is there enough space to accommodate people who have to be evacuated and keep social distancing?
At this point, we believe we've been able to accommodate both disasters, both emergencies, but it has added a tremendous amount of extra problems for our officials that are on the ground, both municipally and provincially. In the case of Fort McMurray, we're fortunate that we have access to a lot of camps in that area, which are able to provide family units and individuals self-isolation space for evacuees. We're using motels and hotels more for this evacuation than we normally have in the past because we need to be able to create those self-isolation spaces. We've had to take steps like drive-in registration for evacuees and different unique things like we would not normally do in this type of emergency.
Finally, will your government be calling on the federal government, maybe even the armed forces, for any help at all?
At this point, we are confident that the province and the municipalities have the situation in control. Certainly, though, if there is anything that we need from the federal government, either from the military side or from other assets, we will call if needed. But we are confident that the province and the municipalities have the situation under control.
Mr. Nixon, first of all, thank you for taking the time. Please convey all our best to the resilient folks in that part of your province, Fort Mac. Just incredible what they've had to endure over the last 4 years. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks for having me on.